guys, this is John McNamara, host of Runnin' Vegas. We're talking local sports, business, real estate. If you guys like what you hear, please subscribe and follow us on Instagram. I'm here with my co-host, Mr.
Rodrigo. Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me here again. This is about our 6th, 7th episode now?
It is.
Yeah.
We're having some fun.
Interesting journey.
It has.
Staying out of the comfort zone. So.
Realizing I know nothing about podcasts.
Yeah. We're learning as we go.
We are. Slowly but surely. We'll figure it out. Check in on episode 36.
Yeah. Give us some feedback, please. Honest feedback.
Yeah. Today we actually have a fun episode. We're really just going to be talking sports. There's a lot going on in Las Vegas this week with UNLV. We got a bunch of conference tournaments this week.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Last night.
Sport in the UNLV today.
Yes. Yeah, the game should be in about another hour here against San Diego. We did beat them, twice this season already?
Once.
So there's a 1-1 record?
1-1.
Okay, I thought we had beat them twice for some reason, and of course I was like, there's no way we'll beat a team 3 times, especially in college, but now, okay.
San Diego State has definitely had our ticket over the years.
Oh, yeah. I remember back when my days at UNLV, attending UNLV, those were the games that I'd want to skip the most. Yeah, San Diego State was rough.
It is.
But no, it's going to be exciting. Yeah, I think it'll be a battle.
Yeah.
A lot of surprises so far. Fresno State beat Wyoming yesterday. Was it Wyoming?
Yep, Wyoming.
So, yeah, a lot of good surprises. Yeah. Wyoming was a heavy favorite, so...
Yeah, we're going to talk about the UNLV game today. Obviously, after we put this on, the game has already occurred, so we'll talk about recap next week. So what is your prediction? UNLV, San Diego State, number 4 seed versus number 5 seed. We didn't get to talk about last time we were on. We didn't get into UNLV, but UNLV, they pulled it off against San Diego State, 22 in the nation. Mm-hmm. I thought they played great defense. They were tough. It was a whole other side of UNLV that I feel like I haven't seen in like 15 years. So it was really cool to see. I hope they can keep this momentum going into this game. And yeah, it's going to be tough because I think they lost by like 10. It was the opener. I believe it was the opener for the Mountain West this year. So 1-1. San Diego State, for the most part, has had UNLV's ticket. Yeah. What is your prediction for the game today?
Oh, man, that's tough. Of course, I want UNLV to win. I think it'll be a close game, not more than 2 to 3 points, final score. But definitely UNLV with the win. I see us pulling away, maybe a 5-point differential. So maybe I think it'll be a little bit of a low score, too. Yeah. Maybe in the 60s, so maybe like 64 to 60, something like that. They'll probably foul us. I'm putting it out to the universe right now.
I would love that.
We end the game with some fouls, good free throws. Edon will take care of business on the line. And, it'll make it happen. But right now, actually, San Diego State's favorite by 4.5 points.
Okay. So
it seems like the public is on San Diego. So we'll see.
Well, I would take the points, but I do think San Diego State will probably pull this one off. I think it will be a tight game. I would say like 59-62, give or take. That's my prediction. I hope UNLV pulls this out. I would love to see it. It's really interesting, too, because, they lost to Reno. They're 0-2 against Reno this year. We didn't get to talk about that either last Saturday, right?
Yeah.
They weren't really into that game. And unfortunately, that ended up being a huge game because they went from a potential 2 seed, if they had won, to a 4 seed. And now they're going to be playing San Diego State. If they win that, most likely Utah State. And I think San Diego State's the most talented team in this conference.
For sure.
And Utah State is the most cohesive, well-led team in this conference. Yeah. Definitely a harder path. The other path was Colorado State, Boise State.
Oh, easy.
Reno, even though we were 0-2 against Reno, I think they're well coached. I don't think they're the most talented team. Mm-hmm. But we've had a lot of success on that side of the field. So it's really interesting how this is lining up.
Yeah. It'll be a nail biter, no doubt. Yeah. And we have a lot of seniors, too. And they're just playing their heart out right now. They are. So Rodriguez is just, been killing it in the defense. So.
Yes, Rodriguez. So shout out to the UNLV team. The Boone Twins made the Mountain West all team. I think they both made 13. Rodriguez made all defense. And Mr. Didon Thomas, who we were talking about a couple pods ago. He ended up winning Freshman of the Year. Well deserved.
Oh, for sure.
Gotta be, honestly, watching UNLV basketball 15 years, easily the most impressive season I have seen, especially from a freshman.
Yeah.
Anthony Bennett was something special, and he took over, and he was a monster. But Deion, I mean, this kid is like 6'1", maybe a buck 75, and he had 154 assists this year.
Wow.
He broke the all-time record for assists for a freshman.
Yeah.
So it's gonna. I want UNLV to win this tournament, getting into the NCAA. That would be amazing. That'd be awesome. But it's a really interesting storyline going into this tournament because they get a win or two, maybe the NIT.
Yeah.
What happens to Kruger? Because they had 19 wins this year. They had a really second half of the year was really impressive. Do you keep Kruger? Does that unit stay together if he stays, or do you blow it up? Because it wasn't a great year either.
Yeah.
So there's even a win or two might make that difference of Kruger being around or not. I mean, what's your thoughts?
I agree. It would be sad to see him leave now that they've gained so much good momentum. Now that they're playing well together. But I mean, business decision, man. I feel like there's no right or wrong with that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I get it. It's a tough season. We're getting good momentum. It was a slow start, but there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle. So I guess I think this matchup will really determine the future for a coach.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it could go either way. He loses his game. He could potentially lose his job.
Yeah.
They're moving on. Or he could win this tournament and get a contract extension. So for Kruger, we wish you good luck. We hope
Yes.
you do a great job. And the team, we wish you good luck. We want a great success from you guys, obviously. It's going to be an interesting couple days here. We're rooting for you
Yeah.
guys.
I see that they have a good relationship with the coach. So in that sense, I definitely would like to see him stay and continue on. So
It seems like that too. So we're always going to be, we're UNLV homers, obviously. We're always going to be rooting for him. But it's just a really interesting storyline. So we'll be talking about it more next week for sure.
for sure, yeah. And shout out to the Lady Rebs. They won the Mountain West Conference themselves last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They won it.
against San Diego State. So maybe history
Hey.
will just repeat itself.
Go 2-0. I would love that in San Diego State. Yeah, shout out. So pretty crazy stat. The UNLV Lady Rebels, they won the Mountain West regular season and the conference tournament 3 years in a row.
Wow.
So shout out to them. Incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
The head coach there has really turned that program around and just very, very impressive. On top of that, too, great week for UNLV. They're also for hockey in the national championship game, which is, I can't even remember what they described. That it's kind of like the lower level of D1,
Yeah.
But either way, that is an impressive story. UNLV hockey has done a really good job. You can go watch them right at the practice facility where the Golden Knights play.
Wow.
So if you didn't check them out sometime next year. But they do have an up and coming hockey program. I know they're trying to get into that D1 status.
Right.
They need the funding for that, and I know they're working on that. But great story with that program too. But overall, it's been a great week for UNLV athletic programs. So
Big time. Yeah, no. And to shift a little gears here, I mean, let's talk about the Raiders. They've been letting go of some people, picking up a few players.
the Raiders.
It's been exciting. Yeah, I mean, it was time to let Jimmy go. Was excited when we hired him. He was going to be our quarterback. 10 out of 10 fella, 10 out of 10 profile. But definitely,
he's a handsome man. Absolutely.
He let us down on the field, man.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. Well, not embarrassing, but yeah, it was a lot of expectations for that guy, right?
Yeah, I've been watching Jimmy's entire career because I grew up being a Patriots fan, and I really actually liked him as a prospect coming into the league for the Patriots. It didn't work out there. He just has never been able to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think ultimately he's kind of a fringe quarterback. He's had some moments, here and there. It was interesting when they gave him that big contract. And ultimately, I think they did the right thing for moving on.
Yeah.
They signed Gardner Minshew, and I think there's a lot of backlash for that right now. People are freaking out about Gardner Minshew being our starting quarterback. And the reality is, I think this guy's a bridge starter. They signed him to a deal where he's really like a high-end backup / can be a starter. And it's been very well known through the reporting is, they're looking to get a rookie quarterback in this draft. So I like the idea of Gardner coming in. You don't necessarily need to start a rookie right off the bat.
Yeah.
And he's played well in Jacksonville and Colts. I mean, he was a game away from making the playoffs with the Colts last year.
Yeah.
So he's not elite level. I'd say he's that fringe top 30 quarterback. But he's got experience. He's not the most talented guy, but man, for the size that he is and maybe not having like some cannon of an arm, he has made the most of his abilities. And I think what a great potential mentor to any potential rookie that comes in here that can learn from this guy for maybe 8 weeks, a year, depending.
Right.
And I actually think it's a good move. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a good move. Yeah, same 25 mil for him, solid. Regardless of what happens, if they pick up somebody in the draft or not, I think between him and O'Connell, they can kind of go back and forth. It'll create some competitiveness to get that starting position.
Yeah.
And now, man, we got probably going to have the best defense in the league, right? So I think defense will show them support. They're going to get excited. They're going to ride that momentum. So regardless who's on, I think just the team's going to have their back. So either way, it'll be a good position. But I'm excited to see him. Yeah, I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, AP did a great job with the defense because looking at this roster last year, it wasn't very impressive. He takes over, and this defense looked like entire different team. So big signing, probably one of the biggest signings of the free agency in the offseason, Christian Wilkins from Miami Dolphins. I think he was ranked PFF number 4 and 6 about 2 years ago and 3 years ago, 29 last year. But a highly ranked defensive tackle, and I've seen this guy play.
Yeah, it's legit.
He disrupts. He moves the pocket. What a great pairing for Crosby.
Yeah.
You just get, obviously, this division, if the Raiders fans want to say it or not, it's owned by the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So what do? You go out and you get guys and get the quarterback.
Yeah.
But this across the board, all these teams should improve going to next year from what we're seeing in this offseason. Chiefs are what the Chiefs are going to be. They're always going to be the top team, right? Because of Mahomes, and they've done a good job at building that defense back up.
Right.
They got Jim Harbaugh coming back, head coach for NFL now for the Chargers. They're going to run the ball, get back to defense. And then Russell Wilson, he's gone for Denver. They're going to bring in a rookie quarterback, most likely, to take over that team. Some guy who fits Sean Payton's system better.
Right.
So really interesting with the division, but I like what the Raiders are doing. And I think what I've read and learned about AP and what he wants to do, he wants to play great defense, obviously defensive-minded. He wants to build the running game. So I think one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to trade for Fields, and he'll be the future quarterback, or they're going to go out and get a rookie. So, and they're going to they'll bring another running back too to compete with Samir White. And the offseason, I think overall is good.
Yeah.
We'll see how it looks, but I'm excited for the progress, and I think AP was a great hire.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Something I see similar with UNLV athletics, and now talking about Raiders is culture, right? It seems like everybody's just doubling down on culture and having that family-oriented mindset when you're often on the field.
Yeah.
So having everyone's back, I can feel the union,
For sure.
And I think just as Vegas continues to grow and we're the spotlight and, a new quarterback coming in, we just had the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big shoes to come in to fill. But I think the culture, the support is there. And I think that's what matters the most right now. Just
sure.
making sure these players fit well with the team.
Yeah. You bring a great point because culture is just so huge. And when AP took over, it's like night and day of what that team looked like. It's pretty incredible, right? And I know we work on that with our real estate team. We work on culture all the time. It's just something you have to work on.
Yeah.
But I think you hit it right on the nose. It's all about culture. And even you can see the basketball team, UNLV basketball team, more aggressive. They're playing together. You know, you can see it, you know, happening. So yeah, I think you run a nose with culture is huge.
Yeah. I mean, should we credit the Golden Knights for that? I don't know. They've been, you know, they've been running great seasons lately. I feel that they have a really solid culture there too for the hockey. So
Absolutely.
I think everybody's just kind of following up, and as they step up, we have to step up. Everybody has to step up. So it's really fun to see that here in the city.
Yeah, another great point. The bar has been raised here, and it's, you're absolutely right. It's the Knights. Because here's the thing. This town has been UNLV, you know, basketball and football. Not that football's been good, but that's really, for the most part, that's really all they've had. So now if they're not top 25, nobody cares about UNLV sports. You know, it's kind of a niche, you know, it's really good for, like, you have a family, you need a cheap ticket to go out and celebrate, because as we all know, rare tickets and Golden Knights, they're not cheap. Right. So yeah, I think absolutely the Knights have raised the bar. They continue. They just traded for that defenseman as well. They continue just to try to win championships, and I think that has trickled down to UNLV athletics, and hopefully the Raiders. The Raiders have not been good since they've been here. And I think from the AP signing in these offseason, it looks like that thing is starting to move in the right direction, hopefully.
Yeah. So what do you shifting now into some baseball, so how do you think that falls into effect with, you know, the A's now coming into town? Can we say that that's 100% sure now? Is it still at 80, 85?
I don't know if it's 100%, to be honest with you. Yeah. I think it all got approved, and the renderings of the stadium came out, which is really impressive.
Yeah,
you know,
it looks beautiful.
It looks gorgeous. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be interesting to have baseball in Las Vegas. You know, going out to the games in July and August.
Yeah.
I think most Las Vegas locals will be okay with it, but it seems like the idea of that stadium and how it's going to look, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's going to be neat. It's going to really bring in, again, a lot of folks, Raiders, Knights, whatever it is. If you say you're in Edmonton or New York, you're looking on schedule and you go, what away game am I going this year?
Oh, yeah.
It's Vegas. I mean, literally, we go to Raider games, and it's 40% away team. You know, so it's almost like kind of going to like a bowl game, like a neutral game. You know, Knights do pretty good with having Knights fan, but still, there's a lot of visitors that come in.
Oh, yeah.
It's great for the city.
Yeah.
We love that people are coming in, spending their money here, helping our economy. So
bringing up the value of property. What?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, we're going to be seeing a lot of Red Sox and Yankee fans.
No.
Yep.
No, it's true. As American League, I'd be excited for that. You know, seeing a lot more of those teams coming out here. So
yeah.
Good.
Should be good.
Awesome. Well, hey, I know we have a couple things going on this weekend as far as,
what do we get going on?
Besides getting some good rest. So you and the team are doing the Spartan race out in Lake Las Vegas, is it?
Yes, sir. We're going to be doing Spartan on Saturday, 6 miles, 25 obstacles. Wow. I've never done a Spartan before. I've done 3 or 4 Tough Mudders now.
Okay.
So I'm excited about it. I've been getting notes from you of how to get my cardio up. I ran a couple miles. I've hiked. I'm not a cardio guy.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting, but we're excited about it. And I know you got something big going on this weekend. You got the marathon.
Marathon in LA. It's supposed to be really interesting. It starts off at Dodger Stadium. You end up somewhere around the Beverly Hills area. So it's supposed to be a great scenic route. I've done marathons before. Most of them have been downhill, though, running down Mount Charleston, actually, and then also in Big Bear. Oh. So they say that, when races downhill, obviously you're going with the force down, and it really helps your time. So it's been a bit of anxiety, a little bit of concern going into this LA. It's supposed to be very flat, lots of hills.
Oh, yeah.
But ultimately, it's going to challenge me, so I'm excited. 26.2 miles.
That's great, man. I'm excited for you.
The race really starts after the 20th mile. So if you make it to the 20th, it's just that last 6.2 is really just you and your mind.
Okay.
So, it'll be exciting. I look forward to coming back, sharing some wins with you guys.
That's great. So what do you do to kind of, I know what you do athletically, how to prepare, but how do you prepare your mind for that point when you get, say you're a mile 20? It sounds like I've never done a marathon. You're a mile 20. What do you do to prepare? What's your mindset when you hit that point?
So originally when I got into running was right during the pandemic, right? Gyms shut down. There's really nothing to do. So me and my best friends just opted to start getting out, just did hikes, but mostly we ended up just finding ourselves running around the block. And then it became a fun mental thing, we'd go out actually around my neighborhood. My neighborhood has 2 entrances. So a lot of the time it'd just be playing mind games. My body and my mind would constantly want to tell me like, oh, you're coming up on the second entrance. Maybe you should just finish and go home. But I wanted to finish what I committed to, the distance I committed to for the day. So really, it's just a mentality thing. Being okay with repetition, being okay with laps and laps and laps, and just a lot of talking to myself, a lot of thinking.
Yeah. Get that David Goggins in your head.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
That guy's a beast. Yeah,
I just think about David Goggins and instantly, adrenaline comes into my body.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably start off my race with one of David's podcasts, or maybe listen to some of his book. That's how I prepare. So first hour will most likely be a good, interesting podcast. Second hour, I'll probably choose a good playlist, go back and forth with some music. Third hour, I'm committed to 30 minutes of like a DJ playlist that really just pumps me up. And I like to keep like the last 40 to 30 minutes with just complete silence. Because after you pass that 20 mile distance, sometimes having music can really mess with your energy. You'll hear something that pumps you up, and then you kind of go for like a minute, but then you're gassed out. So music can really play a big effect into maintaining your energy at that point. Yeah.
I bet. The only time when I did a Tough Mudder was not a marathon, which is very impressive, but I did a Tough Mudder in Reno, and it was 12 miles, but it was literally straight up a mountain.
Oh, wow.
And I just remember at the end, and it was 40 degrees out, and you go into water. And kind of like you said, it turned into mindset, because I remember, you're seeing like women on the side, and they're freezing, and they're, going to shock, but you got to keep moving. And it was me, my buddy Luke, and Bijan, and I am like, my mind is like, yeah, you can run fast.
Yeah. And
my body was not physically doing it. And I remember I just have to keep moving forward. But it's a shock to go through that process. Like, oh my God, things aren't working. Right. I can barely walk.
Yeah. So. And that's actually what I love about it the most, right? Your body's telling you to stop, but hey, your mentality is just, I'm going to drag myself through that finish line. Yeah. So yeah, it's very empowering too. So I enjoy it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's exciting, man. I'm excited to hear when you finish it. And
for sure. We'll have
send me your time.
It's actually on Sunday, St. Patrick's Day. So as soon as I'm done, man, I think I told you already, I'm heading straight to the beer garden, get my carbs up.
Yeah. That's going to be the best tasting beer.
Hope it's not green. Well, let's talk some real estate, yeah?
Yeah, let's talk a little real estate.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit. So guys, real estate, spring has sprung. We want to give you a quick update what is going on. So right now we only have 5,200 homes on the market. To give you an idea, I've been in business 19 years. This is the second lowest inventory we have had.
Yeah.
So just in the last 2 weeks, the market has picked up dramatically. So if you're thinking about potentially selling, great time. We literally put a listing on yesterday. It was on the market for 2 hours, had a full price offer on it. So, and if you're thinking about buying, hey, the market is starting to pick up again. I know there's a lot of folks that are on the fringe. Well, I don't want to pay these interest rates. Okay, what do you think is going to happen when the interest rates go down?
Yeah.
Prices are going to go up. So you got to pick your battle, right? So great time. Spring is always our hottest time of the year. And we've already seen a great pickup in the marketplace. What's your take?
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing the pickup. going back 6 months when working with buyers, it was a little easier to maybe ask for seller contribution, seller help, concession to use towards buying down interest rate, maybe closing costs. Maybe buyers were coming in low, but man, now I don't even dare to write offers below asking or even dare to ask for any concessions. That has completely shifted now. That's completely out the window. And yeah, buyers, it's going to get competitive again. I'm already seeing buyers offer, if not asking price, over asking price just to get their offer accepted. So like you say, yeah, that ultimately means prices will start going up. And, hey, no matter what the interest rates are right now, it's better to get in now than later. As prices will continue to hike. And, of course, with all the things in town and the A's and people get excited about Vegas, top 5 destination in the world. It's no doubt that we're going to continue to see some appreciation here.
Absolutely, and consider that because, we have so many folks moving in Vegas. The prices have really stabilized here, and we're not having many of these conversations now. I think people are starting to understand that the market is coming back. But you're absolutely right. Think about when you're investing, when you're buying a property, it's an investment. It's a long-term thing. And the great news is interest rates will not stay this way forever.
Yeah.
Even though 7% 20 years ago, that was kind of the norm. So just keep that in mind. Think long-term because conservatively what they're showing in the market, it's going to appreciate somewhere between 4 to 6% this year. Typically, Las Vegas, it doubles whatever the nation is supposed to appreciate.
Yeah.
So if you do the math real quick, 5 years from now, you're buying a $400,000 home. It could be worth $600,000. That might sound silly, but it's happened multiple times in Vegas where it just keeps going up. So think long term. The Fed is expecting, for everything that we're hearing, is probably 2 cuts alone this year. Inflation's been, it hasn't totally come down, and that's okay. That will work itself out.
For sure.
But awesome time to get into the market. I'm telling you folks right now, and I've been saying this for, 18 months?
Yeah.
2025 is where this market turns, and it gets into craziness again.
Yeah.
So if you want to avoid the craziness, this is your year to do it. Mm-hmm. So interest rates will be lower. There's a lot of there's a lot of folks that want to move, but they're locked into these interest rates. But once they start coming down to a certain point, that motivation is going to take over what their interest rate is.
Yeah.
So great year. If you're an agent out there, build your market share. I've seen these type of markets multiple times where the market has come down or it's slowed. People leave. We already know, we're down to 16 or 15,000 agents. We typically have 19 to 20,000. Mm-hmm. So we've already almost had a quarter of the agents leave our industry.
Yeah.
And there with commission compression that is going to occur with co-ops potentially going away. We're going to see another shift of agents leaving the business.
Big shift.
So great time to take market share. The agents have value out there for sure. And we're excited for 2024. It's going to be a better year than 2023 and the end of 22, without a doubt. I feel very confident that in 2025 is going to be through the roof.
Yeah,
so.
Bananas.
So,
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hey, I want to thank you for being on the podcast. I got the best co-host in the business.
With the best host.
Thank you. This is Ron in Vegas, and you guys take care of yourselves today.